So there's this big misconception that in order to be a successful online coach, that you need to be an extrovert and have a larger than life personality. And this is not true. This is bullshit. It is 1000% possible for you to be a thriving online business owner. And I actually think online business is actually more suited to introverts than extroverts. So that is what we're going to dive in today. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kendra Perry, online business mentor for health and wellness coaches and creator of the Health Coach Accelerator Method. I'm super stoked you've tuned in. If you're an online coach and you want to blow the fuck out of your business this year, get tips and strategies and mindset hacks to grow your coaching practice, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified when I post new videos on Thursday. Guess what? I'm an introvert. I know it might not seem like it. I know it might seem like I have all this energy and I'm super extroverted, but I'm actually not. I'm actually a total introvert. And running an online business as an introvert is actually amazing. I actually couldn't imagine doing a different job. There are so many reasons why what I do is actually very suited to my introvert tendencies. So let's dive into how to build a business as an introvert this year. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is being shy versus introverted. So I think a lot of people think that because they're shy, they're an introvert, but they're actually not the same thing. So let me just read a couple definitions here. So shy, being reserved or having or showing nervousness or timidity, I probably didn't say that right, in the company of other people. And then introverted, a person who recharges and regains their energy when they are alone rather than when they are with people, right? A person who likes to go deep and hates small talk or feels tired after being in a crowd, and comfortable being alone. So you can see how those are very different things, right? So I think people who are shy can still be introverts. And I think you can actually overcome shyness versus, being introverted or extroverted is something that I think we are either one or the other, but I also think it can shift throughout life. So you really want to determine which is true for you, right? Are you shy, like nervous and timid around other people, or are you an introvert, meaning that you get overwhelmed in crowds, you like people, but you need to kind of recharge alone and you like going deep with people rather than, all that small talk. So determine which is true for you, and both might actually be true. So if you're shy, you can overcome that. And so figure out if you're shy and commit to overcoming it and learning how to be confident. Now, being an introvert, I don't think you can really overcome that. But again, I actually believe online business is perfect for introverts. So we're going to dive into that soon. Now, the other thing I want you to consider is you want to make sure you're not using your status as an introvert to avoid marketing your business. Because I see a lot of coaches doing this. They're like, well, I can't do live video. I'm an introvert. Or I can't do that. I'm an introvert. That's an excuse. That's a mindset block. And I'm calling it out right now because I know so many introverted business owners who have 6-figure, 7-figure, even 8-figure businesses, including myself. I have a multiple 6-figure business and I am a total introvert. The other thing about using your introverted status as an excuse is it's defeating, right? It makes you a victim of your circumstances. And as long as we are a victim of our circumstances, we can't overcome things, right? So this is a really good time to get in a place of personal responsibility and make the decision that I'm an introvert. It's cool. It doesn't mean I can't do these things. Okay, so now let's talk about how to leverage your talent as an introvert to be successful. So typically, because introverts really love to go deep with people, they hate the small talk. Me personally, I hate small talk. I would much rather talk about your super traumatic divorce in a corner of the room one-on-one than talk about the weather and all that superficial stuff. So as an introvert, you are probably going to do really, really well with one-on-one coaching because you love to go deep with people and you love to connect. So that might be something that really speaks to you and something that you are probably going to be way better at than any extrovert. And the great news is that current marketing trends actually require you to go deeper. So right now, building a massive following that you don't know very well, it doesn't really work. We actually want people to go deeper and not wider. What really works for coaches these days is building a small, intimate, and meaningful connection and deep relationships with their audience. So as an introvert, you're a master at that. So that is really, really good news for introverts. And connection in general is just such a huge strength for introverts. So really leverage that, because you could have a very small following, but they're very engaged, you're very connected to them, you have deep relationships with them, and that could serve you as a coach for the rest of your career. So that is a wonderful thing about introverts, is your ability to connect, which is very much needed in today's marketing world. So before we move forward, I would like to know, have you determined if you were introverted or are you shy? Let me know in the comments below. Another really amazing strength of introverts is they tend to be very empathetic and very introspective. They have this amazing ability to understand people, to listen, and to hear them. And that is so, so important as a coach, right? Because really what most of your clients want is to be heard, to feel like they are supported and they are heard. And I believe introverts have a total superpower when it comes to doing that. The other great thing about introverts is that they are very self-motivated, which is awesome, because when you're running an online business, it's just you. You don't really have anyone keeping you accountable, and you're mostly just working alone in your office. So it's so wonderful that you are self-motivated, because you actually need to be self-motivated as an online coach. The other thing that I love so much is, since you are self-motivated and you're working alone, you get to make your own schedule, which means you can schedule in a lot of breaks, right? Do not work 8 hours straight if that doesn't feel good. Maybe you're someone who's going to thrive a little more if you coach a bit and then take an hour, or coach a bit and take 30 minutes, right? Because if you're feeling really overwhelmed with coaching people all the time, then take more frequent breaks, right? And that is the amazing thing about being an online business owner, is you can do that whenever you want. You can totally build your own schedule. This also means that after you do something like a live training, maybe a webinar, maybe an Instagram live, a Facebook live, whatever, you literally just shut down your computer and you walk out the door and go for a walk, or you're alone. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I think online business is really made for introverts, is because if you were working in person at a job, you would be around people and you wouldn't necessarily just be able to escape, right? You might be able to maybe sneak into the bathroom, but you would be kind of locked into being in this very social environment. It's not like that with online business. I can teach 30 people on a live training or more, 100, 200 people on a live training, and then when it's done, I shut it down and I'm in the forest. Right? I'm walking around, I'm in the sun, and I'm alone, and I'm recharging. So that's one of the biggest reasons why, because I turn it on, I bring out, the kind of more excitable, more fired up side of myself. But then when I'm done, I shut it down and I'm out the door. So that is one of the biggest reasons why being an introvert is such a huge benefit for online business owners. Now, before we end today, I just want to talk about a few disadvantages of introverts, or at least some things to just be aware of, because there's benefits and downfalls to being both an extrovert and an introvert. So one thing is the desire for approval. So sometimes introverts are people pleasers. This doesn't work in online business because you can't please everyone, and actually it's not true in real life anyways, right? So be aware of any people pleasing tendencies. Introverts also tend to be very sensitive, right? So online trolls can be a bit of a thing. You're always going to piss people off online, even if you try not to, right? There's people who just want to be assholes online. So introverts can be a little bit more sensitive. So you're probably going to want to create some sort of ritual around that so that you are not as affected by that. Introverts also don't tend to like interruptions. So just be very conscious of your tech. Don't let it control you. So this means make sure you have all push notifications turned off on your phone. So when you're working, you are creating a distraction-free zone, because I find introverts can get very easily distracted and it can kind of pull them out of their flow state. The other thing about introverts is they can be a little unassertive, which can be challenging when you're running a team, because if you are going to build a team, have an assistant, maybe have a video editor, a social media manager, whatever, you actually need to be very assertive. This is something I definitely struggle with. I don't love being assertive, but it's something I've mastered and I've committed to mastering because I have quite a decent sized team for a large business. So just keep that in mind. You are probably going to have to work a little bit harder on being assertive in your business. And then the final thing that introverts don't love is being put on the spot, right? Introverts kind of hate that, but guess what? You're going to be put on the spot, right? You're going to be interviewed. You're going to be on a podcast. You're going to be on a live video. Your coaching client is going to ask you a question. You are going to be on the spot, but don't worry. That is something that can be overcome. And with practice, you will get very good at it. Personally, I used to hate it. I used to feel really uncomfortable. Now you can put me on the spot, ask me anything, and I'll I'll handle the situation. All right, if you like this video and you want more from me, you can download my Ultimate Health Biz Starter Kit. Inside the starter kit is everything you need to get started. My niche workbook, you can get my branding sheet, you can get my Instagram bio cheat sheet, you can get my done for you health history and example contract, plus a lot more. It's totally free and I will link to that below this video. And if you love this video, I hope you did, you can let me know by liking it, sharing it, leaving me a comment and subscribing to my channel. So don't worry, if you're an introvert, you are totally built for an online business. Don't let that be an excuse. So go build that fucking business and I'll talk to you in the next video.